Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the most important topic of DC network theorem, which is called superposition theorem. Hope you all are well. So myself Mr. Santanu Noskar, Assistant Professor of Electrical Department, GKCEM JIS Group, and these are my mail IDs santanu.uit@gmail.com and santanu.noskar_gkcem@jisgroup.org, and this is my Facebook page, Being Electrify with Santanu. You can get my all lecture in my Facebook page and also in my YouTube channel. Okay, so let's start about your syllabus. So the name of the course is Electric Circuit Theory and course code PCW301, semester 3rd of your second year, and these are your teaching scheme: 3-hour lecture per week, 1-hour tutorial per week, and 2-hour practical per week. And this is your credit point 4+1. So these are your objective, which I have discussed in my previous classes, and I have already covered the introduction section and the coupled circuit section. Now I have started the network theorem. In network theorem I also covered KCL, KVL, loop, mesh analysis, and now this is the first network theorem, which is superposition theorem. So before start this lecture, I want to share a quote by a famous scientist, Thomas Alva Edison. Once he said, "We will make electricity so cheap that only the rich will burn the candles." So all about electricity, all about electrical engineering. So let's start the most important topic of electrical engineering, which is superposition theorem. So superposition theorem states that in any linear bilateral network having more than one source, the response across any element is the sum of the response obtained from each source considered separately, and all other sources are replaced by their internal resistance. The superposition theorem is used to solve the network where two or more sources are present and connected. Okay. In other words, we can say, or it can be stated as, if a number of voltage or current sources are acting in a linear network, the resulting current in any branch is the algebraic sum of all the current that would be produced in it when each source acts alone, while all the other independent sources are replaced by their internal resistance. It is only applicable to the circuit which is valid for the Ohm's law. Example, linear circuit. Now we will go through the explanation of superposition theorem. Okay, so let us understand that superposition theorem with the help of an example circuit. The circuit diagram is shown here, consists of two voltage source V1 and V2. Okay, now first take the source V1 alone and short circuit the source V2 as shown in this figure. So here the value of current flowing each branch is I1 dash, I2 dash, and I3 dash, which is calculated by this following equation: I1 dash equals to V1 by R2 parallel R3, because we are showing from here. So this R2 and R3 is in parallel, and these R2 and R3 together series with this R1. So R2 R3 parallel with series with R1. So I1 dash is equals to V1 R2 R3 by R2 plus R3 plus R1, which is number 1 equation. Now I2 dash equals to I1 dash into R3 by R2 plus R3. This is calculated by current divider rule. It is number 2 equation. Now the difference between the above two equation gives the value of current I3 dash, which is I1 dash minus I2 dash. So why this I3 dash equals to I1 dash minus I2 dash? Because the product of current going through this, in this point, this is divided into two paths. One is going through this R2, another is going to this R3. Okay, so the I3 dash equals to I1 minus I2 dash, I1 dash minus I2 dash. Okay, now activating the voltage source V2 and deactivating the voltage source V1 by short circuiting it. Find the various current element I1 double dash, I2 double dash, I3 double dash following the circuit diagram shown here. So like this is also the value of I2 double dash, and this is the value of I1 double dash. Same, this R1 R3 is in parallel with series with this R2, because we are seeing from here, and this I1 dash calculated by current divider rule. So now this I3 double dash equals to I2 double dash minus I1 double dash. From here we can see it. Now the main thing, as per superposition theorem, the value of current I1 I2 is now calculated as I3 equals to I3 dash plus I3 double dash, I2 equals to I2 dash minus I2 double dash, and I1 equals to I1 dash minus I1 double dash. Okay, so this is all superposition theorem. Now we will discuss about some step for solving superposition theorem. There are 8 steps. If you remember those 8 steps, you can easily calculate it any circuit by superposition theorem. Okay, so consider a circuit diagram A. Let us see the various steps to solve the superposition theorem. Now going through the step 1. Okay, I will describe the all 8 steps. Step 1 is take only one independent source of voltage or current and deactivate the other. So look here, we take only one independent source. Now in the circuit diagram B, consider the source E1 and replace by the other source E2 by its internal resistance R2. Okay, if it is internal resistance is not given, then it is taken as 0 and the source is short circuited. Okay, so this source is short circuited. Now step 3, if there is a voltage source, then short circuit it, and if there is a current source, then just open it. So if there is a voltage source, you have to short circuit it, and if here is a current source, you have to open a circuit. This is the rule. Okay, now step 4, thus by activating one source and deactivating the other source, find the current in each branch of the network. Okay, so taking the above example of I1 dash, I2 dash, I3 dash. Okay, so previous example, I am saying about previous example. Now step 5, now consider the other source of EMF E2 and replace the source E1. Look in this circuit, figure C, by its internal resistance R1 as shown in the circuit. Now step 6, determine the current in various sections. Okay, I1 double dash, I2 double dash, I3 double dash. Okay, like this. Now to determine the net branch current utilizing the superposition theorem, add the current obtained from each individual source for each branch. Okay, now last step, if the current obtained by each branch is in the same direction, then add them, and if it is in the opposite direction, subtract them to obtain the net current in each branch. So the actual flow of current in the circuit C will be given by I1 equals to I1 dash minus I1 double dash, I2 equals to I2 dash minus I2 double dash, I3 equals to I3 dash minus I3 double dash. Thus, this way we can solve all circuit, not all circuit, by superposition theorem. So here comes the limitation of superposition theorem. I will discuss. Before that, we are going through an example. Okay, so let's start. So let us discuss about an example of superposition theorem. Okay, so please go through this circuit. Find the current flowing through 20 ohm resistor of the following circuit. So this is the 20 ohm resistor. Okay, so let's start the step 1. Let us find the current flowing through 20 ohm resistor by considering only 20 volt voltage source. In this case, we can eliminate the 4 ampere current source by making open circuit of it. The modified circuit diagram is shown here. Okay. So there is only one principal node except ground is in above circuit, so we can use nodal analysis. So look here, in previous class I described the rules of nodal analysis. Because of there is only one principal node except ground in the above circuit, so we can apply here nodal analysis method. So the node voltage V1 is labeled in the following figure, and V1 is the voltage from node 1 with respect to ground. Okay, this circuit, this is ground. So the nodal equation is V1 minus 20 by 5 plus V1 plus 10, V1 by 10 plus V1 by 10 plus 20 equals to 0. From here 6V1 minus 120 plus 3V1 plus V1 equals by 30 equals to 0. From here we can calculate the V1, which is 12 volt. Now the current flowing through 20 ohm resistance is, we can say, I1 equals to V1 by 10 plus 20, and substituting the value of V1, the above equation, I1 equals to 12 by 10 plus 20, which is 0.4 ampere. Therefore the current flowing through 20 ohm resistor is 0.4 ampere when 20 volt source only considered. Okay, now step 2. Let us find the current flowing through 20 ohm resistor by considering only 4 ampere current source. Okay, so in this case we can eliminate the 20 volt source by making short circuit of it. In previous we make open circuit the current source. Okay, so in this above circuit there are 3 resistors to left of terminal A and B. Okay, terminal A and B. We can replace this resistor with single equivalent resistor. Here 5 ohm 10 ohm resistor are connected in parallel and the entire combination is in series with 10 ohm resistor. Okay, just I am discussing about these 3 resistance. So the equivalent resistance to the left of the terminal A and B will be here RAB equals to 5 into 10 by 5 plus 10. This will be 5 into 10 by 5 plus 10. Okay, plus 10. That's mean 5 ohm and 10 ohm resistor is in parallel with series with 10 ohm resistor. So total is 40 by 3 ohm. Okay, so this is the modified circuit, 40 by 3 ohm. Now the simplified circuit diagram is shown here. We can find the current flowing through the 20 ohm resistance, which is I2 equals to IS. IS means source current, into R1 by R1 plus R2. Okay, so substitute the IS equals to 4 substitute the IS equals to 4 ampere and RA equals to 40 by 3 ohm, R2 equals to 20 ohm. Okay, we can get, and now the total current, and from here we can find the I2, which is 1.6, and the total I, therefore the current flowing through this 1.6, and therefore the current flowing through 20 ohm resistance is 0.4 plus 1.6 equals to 2 ampere. Okay, which is I equals to I1 plus I2. So this is our superposition theorem. Very easy theorem. If you understand this theorem and remember those 8 steps, then you will definitely solve any circuit by superposition theorem, but not any circuit. There is a limitation. Okay, so go through the limitation. For the power calculation, superposition theorem cannot be used, as this theorem works based on the linearity, because the power equation is not linear, as it is the product of voltage and current, or square of the current or square of the voltage. Thus the power consumed by the element in a given circuit with superposition theorem is not possible. Okay, number 2, if the choice of the load is variable or the load resistance changes frequently, then it is required to perform every source contribution of current or voltage and their sum for every change in load resistance. So this very complex procedure for analyzing complex circuit. This theorem applicable for only linear circuit, and for non-linear circuit having transistor and diode we cannot apply. Okay, next, this theorem is applicable only if the circuit has more than one source. This is very important. If the circuit has more than one source, then we only apply superposition theorem. But one source circuit has another type of theorem, like Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem, maximum power transfer theorem. Okay, so this is all superposition theorem, and these are the limitation of superposition theorem. Now we will discuss about some reference book of your course, which is Circuit Theory, Analysis and Synthesis by Abhijit Chakraborty. Next is Circuit and System by K.M. Soni. Next is Circuit Theory and Network by S.P. Ghosh and A.K. Chakraborty. And these are some side NPTEL's video lecture, Electronics Hub, Electronics Tutorial. So thank you. Hope you all enjoy my lecture. Thank you.